You know, Chris, it only took seconds for lives here in eastern Kentucky to be changed forever. But the reality is that it is going to take much longer for the recovery. And it is both felt here in the region and it is evident to be seen here still in the mountains.
Driving in today, Amber, you could still see scars left behind by the deadly flooding from a year ago. And you know, if you go back to a year ago at this exact moment, I don't know that folks would believe what was about to happen to this part of the world. And I can tell you, it's a night I will never forget. As I watched the radar with the rains just setting up and the reports that were coming in that night, knowing the devastation that was unfolding in real time in the middle of the night. It was just devastating for me personally, being from this area. Here's a look back at just how historic that night was. The night of July 27th into the morning of July 28th, 2022, a 12-hour span that changed the lives of thousands across southeastern Kentucky as devastating flooding hit the area. The culprit, a stalled frontal boundary combining with rich tropical moisture to produce rounds of slow-moving thunderstorms impacting the same areas over and over. A setup we had been following for days. This is the area we're highlighting for an increased potential for flash flooding, not only later tonight, but into tomorrow and a part of Friday as well. It's clusters of thunderstorms that can put down a quick couple or 3 inches of rain in an hour or two, which can cause some additional high water issues. The night of the 27th, these storms were dumping as much as 4 inches of rain per hour over a number of counties. With rainfall numbers like that, it didn't take much longer than a few minutes for flash flooding to start. Significant flash flooding is being reported in several of these areas, especially hard hit Breathitt County into parts of Magoffin County, where the storms continue to just line up and move over some of the same areas. The severity of the flooding became apparent just after midnight as the rains kept falling. The National Weather Service upgraded flash flood warnings to a rare flash flood emergency. And now this is life-threatening stuff that we're dealing with here. And here's the sad part, is that I say this all the time. There's never a good time for flooding, never. There is a worse time for it, and that's during the overnight. This is a tremendous amount of rain in a short amount of time. When the storms finally ended the next morning, some areas picked up more than a foot of rain. This rain map shows the corridor of heaviest rains of at least a foot or more, stretching from northeastern Clay County into southern Pike County. Areas of Perry, Breathitt, Knott, and Letcher counties took the brunt of the heavy rain and flooding. Rainfall totals like this are considered a once-in-a-1,000-year event. Simply put, that means there is a 0.1% chance of this much rain falling in any one area in any given year. It wasn't just creeks and streams being overwhelmed by the historic rains. Rivers in the region would quickly rise above flood stage. The North Fork of the Kentucky River hit levels never before seen in Jackson and Whitesburg. You know, you're looking back on those horrific floods that ripped through this same area 1 year ago, this July. You're thinking about all the folks that we lost, all the homes that we lost. We lost hundreds of homes, 45 lives were taken, a majority of them losing their lives when floodwaters swept them away, others losing their lives in the months after from flood-related issues.